Right, Friday was a very nice day. We not only had a nice up day, but we also went up despite oil going up, despite the dollar being up, yields being up, the markets being down. Normally, all those combined to markets just having a horrible day, and actually, we'd be underperforming the markets. It'd be an exceptionally horrible day, and we'd be down a lot. Not only were we not down, we were up a decent amount and holding good support. It's starting to look very constructive. To me, it was the best day since the drop because we had a nice day despite those combinations. So gold looks good. 4,400 seems to be rough support, but I mean, even if we close below 4,400, you've got these little levels on the way down, 4,300, 4,100, and here it gets stronger and stronger. I mean, if you're closing below 4,100, there's probably quite a lot of chaos going on, which is actually a reason you should be buying gold. It doesn't make sense. And I think it's just, Turkish central bank sold. It's just some big players sold. You just buy, right? Keep it simple. We are going up long term. Debt, deficit, monetary policy, war. Yeah, you buy. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's going down. You just buy. It's like COVID, dropping, dropping, dropping. They cut interest rates. I remember they just completely cut everything, and I was like, I bought that low, and it's kept on going down, and then it started to go up. It's like, keep it simple. So for me, I feel like next week, it depends what happens over the weekend, of course. But I mean, you could make the case if there's peace, it should go up, right? So far we've dropped with war, so peace you go up. But to be honest, if it starts to escalate, war, gold should go up. So I kind of feel like we go up regardless. Because also we went up despite the markets going down and oil, dollar, and yields going up. So maybe that's the new trend. Who knows? But I feel like we have to go up. This is a nice zone. Technically, we've held. Now it's time to bounce. The first resistance is going to be the old high up here, 4,600. And then we keep going. I used to have resistance here, 4,000 sort of 700 and something. I just decided to move it up. I feel like if you take out 4,600 and continue, you're going to go up a bit more. And I feel like it's going to be sort of this level 4,000, retested this ascending, kind of this zone. Well, you can see it. So maybe we end up going all the way up there in gold, a little high. But let's close above 4,600. I think that's doable next week. Silver looks really coiled too, more coiled than gold. It's come down more. But it's just this 70. Look at this ascending here. Everyone waiting for the 55s. Yeah, maybe you're not going to get that. Maybe it's here. And I feel like we go up. Now, if we go up a bit like 4,600 in gold, it's going to be this 75-ish zone. Once you close above that, not only have you taken out this descending, which is my favorite line to trade, like once you break out of the descending here on something that's long term up fundamentally and technically, this is basically the strongest case. So I think it's going to squeeze 75 close, then we go higher. You're not going to go a little higher. I used to have resistance here because it was support, but you're not going to close above 75 and just make a small trip to 77. You're going to go probably 80, right? That might be your first resistance between 77.5 and 80. And then once that's done, it's kind of looking obvious that that was the low. So how much of a retrace are you going to get before people just say, no, 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 this is going all the way up to 95? So I don't know. I feel like, obviously, I want this. I'm biased, but I feel like a little do is in the cards. Right, which is beautiful. And imagine the miners. Actually, before I go to the miners and get lost in that world, let's look at DXY. That looks good. Nice close. Looks like it wants to go to 102, but right now, we're going up with it, so not the worst thing. And honestly, it should be way higher than 102. So, but yeah, that looks strong, right? Closed at high of day, so it's got to close above this 100.5, and then it should start making its way to 102. It is what it is. And again, if it doesn't affect us, then good, because our stuff is priced in dollars, Canadian dollars, Australian dollars for some miners, but that's cool too. Yields, that's the big one. Right, so we have the 30-year that's going up with the dollar. I mean, yields are just going up. They didn't close at high of day, but they're looking a bit scary. The US one's not as bad as the others. Look at Japan. That is financial crisis stuff. The EU 10-year new old. This is for me maybe even the biggest one. Like that's huge. That's financial crisis stuff. The French yields. So yields up, dollar up. This might be even worse than oil. Oil up, huge, close at high of day, best close since the war began, in my opinion. Even on the weekly, yeah, like that was a red close down there, best and strongest oil close. Next stop, well, obviously all the way at the old high, 120. Can you imagine if that starts to happen? And then people say, okay, now we've got to look at 130, 150. What if gold goes up with that? Wouldn't that be good? The miners go up with oil, despite the oil hurting the earnings and all that. But it's not going to offset I mean, they already abide before the drop. So for me, we go up. Miners can easily go up with oil going up because, earnings you find out later anyway. So you got time. But yeah, I think it's wonderful. We went up with that. Now let's look at the miners. So obviously we were trading higher during that gap fill day, but I prefer this, close green. Because I mean, look, that candle wasn't great. It was kind of always going to retrace and we went all the way back down. But that is such a recovery. For me, okay, obviously the last high is a bit like gold and silver. The last high will be resistance. But I think we can shoot up here 90 to 92 in GDX. Let's fill the second gap. That would make the whole chart look so much better. We can finally take out some of these lines. And then it's about the retrace. How much of a dip will you get? If silver hits 80, for example, how much investors going to let it go down before they buy it up, thinking, okay, now we're going to go to the 90s. So I think it looks very constructive. GDXJ, obviously, they all look quite similar. So last resistance, that didn't even take out. Actually, it's more like here. So we've got to try and close or at least test 116, and then it's the next level. GDXJ should be doing better, to be honest. SIL, that's okay. This one maybe here. Got to start testing the old high, closing above it. That's your next level. It's all about how we start Monday, Tuesday. It's quite important next week. SILJ, yeah, you could almost say GDX is the best one out of all of them. But I feel like the mid tiers and the juniors will start to outperform a bit more, and especially the silver ones. Portfolio update. I liked it. Newmont already tested the old high, so that was nice to see. I didn't do any trims, by the way. I didn't sell anything. I didn't buy anything. I only bought CDE on Thursday when it made new low, but that's it. So I already trimmed right this level. So and my other trims were set at up here. So actually, if we do go to the next level, which for me in Newmont's case is up here, I've got my last sell. I was doing two sells for everything I bought down here. So half out and then a half out. And um and then I feel a bit invincible because if we go back down, I'll just buy back what I had. But I feel like we might even go higher. I think we could end up going up faster than some people expect because I think we went down definitely faster than people expected, but for no really valid reason, even if there was a big sell in the markets. Barrick also looks okay, closed quite high, best close. I think it'd be quite easy to test the old high and close above 40 and then maybe go to the next level would probably be something like here. Yes, 42. That looks okay. Agnico back to looking better than the rest. Nice big candles closed, fantastically high. Tested the old high already. That if we go up another level, it's going to be 204. That's where I've got the other sell. So that looks great. It's good to see that one looking good again. Wheaton, that looks good again. Beautiful candle. Look up almost 5%, close a high of day. That'll be easy to test the old high. And then the next level, I think, yeah, 132, maybe even a bit higher. Who knows? Don't know which way. In fact, it could, but that's gonna take 2 good days. But yeah, we are gonna retest that area. What? So Wheaton's never gonna come back here the rest of its life, of course. I think I might try and place my sell there. Okay, we'll see. Franco-Nevada looks good. Closed better than yesterday, of course. And I think it won't take much to test this level, 240. And after 240, we go to the next level, which is 250, just below 250. Metalla must have been news. That one is a bit like CD on Wednesday. It was obviously going to keep going down the next day. And we kept on going down, perfectly touching the next level, 620. I don't know why was there news, but that really stood out. Like, not only did everything else go green, but this one went red by quite a bit. So but this one had outperformed, so it's still not too bad. But I haven't bought or sold this one. I'm just holding. For me, Metalla, don't know the company that well, but it went up a bit too much, didn't come down much, so I wasn't eager to buy that one. I prefer to buy the more established seniors and more established mid tiers and silver stocks instead. Right, mid tier gold stocks, wonderful close, perfect candle, open at low, close at high. That will not take much to test its recent high up here and then go to the next level. In fact, I feel like that whole level is just one level, and that's going to be up here. So 1850 pre-gap fill, that's the level I might do my trim at, and the next trim will be here on I am gold. Then leave it. We're probably going up because the whole trend is to go back and test the old high. Equinox, that's had a bit of difficulty just closing a bit higher in the last couple of days. So one level up when we go to test 1330 and then or 1350 almost. And next level is there. Yeah, that's a bit weaker than I expected actually. But what a wonderful stock. I don't mind it staying here. If the others go up and this one stays here, I'll trim some of those and add to this one. B2 Gold, clear level 440. I didn't even trim this because I didn't even buy anything down here. B2 Gold is just a hold like Metalla. I prefer to buy other stocks. If it were to fill the gap, I don't even know if I would trim anything. I don't know. But anyway, that would be the level 450-ish, 475-ish. Nothing great. See how that one. I'm in no hurry to add or do anything to that one. Aris Mining, this one's good. Higher lows, hitting its head on the ceiling, 1745. Best close in a while. Yes, that one was better, but this one is more constructive. This one will go up. $18 is a bit of a level. 18 to 1850. Well, that's quite a range. I think we could easy test 18, even on Monday, even pre-market, depending how the weekend goes. And before you know it, Aris is back in the 18, mid 18s, and then yeah, and then 20 should be resistance. Didn't buy this one on the drop, didn't come down enough. So not in a hurry to trim, but it is looking strong. So if this one goes towards 20, I might trim at 20, especially if the others are weak. I'll just trim and take the proceeds of the trim and put in a different one. Maybe you could do a little flip like that. Harmony, it's got so much resistance on the way up. At least the candle was okay, not even 3%, but higher lows on daily clearly, so that looks good. We should close above 15 and then maybe you can start making a big move up and then I can finally question myself, do I trim or not? Not in a hurry. I could just hold this and not look at it for ages, but I'm forced to look at it, so I do. Lots of resistance on the way up, but it is looking strong here, so that's cool. SBSW holding, nice candles there. $11 strong support. One small move up and you're already testing 12 and then you can go up. This one probably have to move this down now. Something like 1350 is probably your first trim level. I don't think I'll trim it. Another one. Actually, no, I did buy this one at 11 something. But otherwise, I guess I could sell what I bought there. Anyway, no hurry there. Okay, silver miners. I'll start with the one that I tend to forget. ASM, nice high lows in the daily. Maybe that's your level. The last high, close above 650, and you can go up another level. $7 should be easy. I think it can go more than $7. I have a feeling we're going to go a bit higher than people expect. A bit of a big candle coming up. I'll leave this here. I don't really know where I trim if we start going up here, actually. I'll just leave it here since I don't know. But that one, I have a good feeling. That's another coiled one. Yeah, this one's going to have a big move, especially if silver does. I'm in no hurry to buy to sell that one though. I just kind of bought. I just created the position. Pan America, very strong, higher lows, nice close near the high. That should be easy if we have a green day. We'll be trading above that pre-market quite easily if it's green on Monday. And then the next level, once you start taking out this sort of 54 zone, is hard to tell. Even this, not really actually, now that I look at it. I mean, that's a level, but do you really get there? I don't know. Well, I'm in no hurry to sell this. Actually, I am. It's my biggest position by far. And if we start trading up here, it's going to be worth more than it's ever been worth, including when it was all the way up here. But I don't know, no obvious sell after 54. Maybe a small trim at it's almost too easy. I don't know where I'd trim that one. But this one looks good. The close is good, higher lows, and a small move when you're trading mid 50s very quickly, and uh and that's good news. Um First Majestic. Yeah, you see what a horrible candle Thursday is. Just what you needed, that Friday candle. Now it looks like 21.20 is not even worth selling because we're pretty much there. So we'll cross that level and then just find it hard to call where to sell, where to trim. Where do I sell the rest of my nibbles from down here? I don't know. This is a bit like Pan America. I just don't know. 24? No, not really. I can't read it. Besides 26, which seems a bit too far away, a bit too greedy. Definitely. Um, but okay. I guess I'll just play it according to SilJ or Silver's resistance. You know, if Silver's about to hit 80, 80's resistance, I'll just probably trim all the silver stocks where they are. CDE, okay, weaker, but perfect candle to follow on from yesterday, right? Close at low of day, lost support, bam, reversal. Now we're back in the 1730s. This has gone. This comes down here, and now your resistance is clearly 19. So that would be your trim, where even though I've already trimmed. But I'm just not in the mood to sell CDE below 20. It's just no. I feel like silver's going to cross the $100 range, and I think when we're doing that, this thing is going to be, somewhere up here. So I'm going to mark the resistance, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be trimming there. CDE might be the best buy out of all the silver stocks that I hold. I mean, if I ignore the juniors where they can just go 50% in the day, Heckler, that's okay. Not really higher lows in the daily, but we're proving that 17 is good support, mid 16s. Next level is going to be here, the last high. I'm not trimming that. In fact, I don't even remember if I trimmed Heckler here. Um, I don't even know. But definitely 20s, I would be trimming something. Just don't know where. It's harder to call for me for the this. I think I might have to just base it on silver. But I'm not up for selling Heckler there, right? What's that about? Even if it goes up to the 20s. Look at this coiled. They're coiled. They really are. They're just waiting for a squeeze. And I think silver gives the sign and the miners will follow. They're going to have big moves. You could have like, 10, 15% days in some of these silver stocks. We haven't had that in ages and we really deserve it. EXK, yeah, maybe more higher lows than some of the other ones. Lots of little levels. So for next level for me is 950, then 10, then 1050. This one's simple. I'm in no hurry. I'm just marking the levels. I think once you get to 1050, then you can trim because that's price support on a more medium term basis. So that's maybe a better sell. But the other ones, I'm in no hurry. So that's it. I'm very happy with yesterday because Friday that is because we outperformed and we went up despite oil dollar yields and market going down. So I mean, oil dollar yields going up and market going down. And on top of that, my plan to sell my oil stocks and throw them in here. First of all, I'm not out of cash, so no need to do that. But oil stocks have gone up nicely, like really nicely. These are the Rick Rule oil stocks, Exxon, I like Occidental, I'm in Murphy, and they're just growing in value. So I'd love to sell these and throw them in the metals, but not yet. I don't. I'm not desperate enough for the cash. So, yeah, let's see what happens over the weekend. And you know what? I feel like if the war gets worse or better, I still feel like gold will go up and the narrative will just adapt. They'll be like, yeah, well, let's say there's a truce. Of course, gold goes up because it went down for war, so it goes up for truce. But if there's more escalations, then you can just say, yeah, well, the metals are usually good for war, and there was just some sort of liquidation. Liquidity is required. That's why they all went down, and now they're going up for the reasons they should have always gone up. So the narrative will probably just adapt to represent the latest price. But I feel like we'll go up. I really feel like we're going to continue up. It's just how do you initially start Monday? I don't know. Right, good luck. I think we're good. I think we've seen the lows. Anything can happen, but I just feel like we've seen the lows. So I'm looking forward to some sells on the way up next week. Good luck.